So first off, if you can just tell me what you thought of David Marcus's testimony, did it ease any of your concerns that you had going into this?
I'm pleased that he came. We invited him, and I think he knew it was important for him to get here, and he testified on the Senate side and over here today. And of course, our members were very well prepared. They asked very deep and serious questions. They did their homework, and I think he did as well as he could do, but he skirted a lot of what we were asking him. And so I don't think it's that we learned so much, but we understand that there is a project, Libra and Calibra, and we understand what the purpose is supposed to be. We're not convinced that they understand that this cannot go forward without regulation. And so we had a lot of questions about exactly what are you? Are you a bank? Are you a payment system? Or do you just transmit money? What do you do, and how do you define yourself? And so we had all those kinds of questions.
Do you feel like you got those answers at all? Do you feel like you know what it is?
No, I don't feel as if we absolutely know what it is and how it's going to work, but I think we did get an understanding that we've got to put a lot more time and attention into this to be able to understand it and make some decisions about whether it's in the best interest of our country.
One of the big questions that I kept hearing over and over again is who is going to regulate this? What agency? Do you have any clarity or any idea after this hearing which way you think that's going to go?
No, and that's the problem, because we don't know what it is. And so not knowing what it is, you certainly can't begin to talk about who should regulate it. It could be that if it goes forward, it would be a whole new regulatory system set up, a whole new regulatory agency. I don't know at this point, but because it is not well defined in ways that we understand, I cannot tell you who should or could be regulating something like this.
Do you think if the regulations do get figured out at some point, do you think because of the trust issues that Facebook has, do you really think they should ever be involved in something like this, in a currency?
Well, it's obvious that Facebook is going to have to get beyond this trust issue. You heard it articulated by many of our members here today, basically that they don't trust Facebook. Facebook, of course, has been fined over $5 billion. We're worried about all that big data that they have control over and our constituency privacy and all of that. So they have a long way to go to get rid of the trust issue that's confronting them.
And you think that Zuckerberg should come in and testify about this?
Oh, yes, I absolutely think he should. And one of our members, Mr. Sherman, particularly asked for it today. And I do think he should come.
What do you hope that Zuckerberg can tell you that maybe Mr. Marcus could not?
Well, the first thing he could tell us is why Facebook came up with this idea altogether. I know that they will probably say, well, this was born out of the brain of Mr. Marcus, but of course, I think we need more information than that. I think this is Facebook in its effort to broaden its influence and its power and to make more money, that this really is the way that Facebook thinks. So we want him to tell us all about how it got started.
You know, that's what Facebook says a lot, is we are one of many companies involved in this. Do you buy that they're going to be kind of disconnected, that they won't be in direct control of this?
No, I don't buy that. And I think that this is a huge idea that's born out of Facebook. It's a global idea that's born out of Facebook. And I think that the Libra is a challenge to our dollar. And so we got a lot of questions to ask, and we would like to ask him of Mr. Zuckerberg.
You know, my last question for you is just, Congressman McHenry said, you know, we don't want to have Washington be a place where innovation comes to die. What do you think about those kind of remarks that you've heard from Republicans that think maybe a moratorium is just saying that innovation's not welcome here?
Well, first of all, let me say I thank most of the Republicans who have the same kind of concerns that we have. It was bipartisan today, the questions that were asked, the concerns that they have, and so that was well represented today from the Republican side of the aisle along with the Democrats. So I think any talk about innovation maybe is an attempt to say, you know, we're not trying to thwart innovation. We stand on the side of innovation for our future, and new technology is what we should all be focused on, et cetera, et cetera. I think it was a way to kind of ease some concerns about whether or not we were just against innovation. Of course we're not, and I made that clear in remarks that I made, that we all have an appreciation for innovation, but You know, we can't allow Facebook or anybody else to do whatever you want to do and not be concerned about oversight, investigation. That's our responsibility as members of Congress. And that's what we're going to do to make sure, number one, that our consumers are protected.